Hi, I'm Nikki. Welcome to my channel where we get nerdy. So today, going to try and do a different type of video than I normally do, mainly because I want to do something fun. So, and I reached over 100 subscribers, which you have no idea how excited I was. And when I showed my son, he screamed, kind of like that really excited scream when you finally get to meet your hero, your Hollywood hero. So off camera is my cousin Natalie, and she's going to be feeding me questions from a book tag. And the book tag is kind of like a throwback to books from high school. So we're just going to dive right in. I'll put the questions down below should you decide that you want to do it. All right, Natty, question 1.
Question 1. A book you are not required to read that surprises you now.
A book that I was not required to read that surprises me now. It seems like every high school, except mine, had kids read either 1984 by George Orwell or Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. And we didn't. Thank goodness, because I read Ender's Game a few months ago and not my thing. Not my kind of book. I'd be interested in reading 1984 though. Next question. Question number 2.
A book you were required to read and actually liked.
Okay. A book I was required to read that I actually liked. So there's going to be a tie. Either The Crucible, To Kill a Mockingbird, or Gentle Hands. I don't even remember much of Gentle Hands. All I know is that I liked it so much that I went out and bought a copy, and it's still on my bookshelf in my bedroom because I don't want to get rid of it because I liked it that much, but I don't remember much of it. Maybe I should reread that fairly soon. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Okay, question number 3.
A book you were required to read, didn't want to read, but now love.
A book that I was required to read, didn't want to, but now love it. See, in our high school, it was either like To Kill a Mockingbird, The Crucible, Gentle Hands, Of Mice and Men, Animal Farm, and then like Shakespeare. That's it. That's all we were ever made to read. We didn't read anything else. So I will probably have to say Of Mice and Men, because at first I was a little on the fence with that story. But I came to love the characters for sure. So we'll do that. Of Mice and Men.
Question 4. A book you were required to read and did not like.
Question 4. A book I was required to read that I didn't like. Animal Farm. I don't even remember who wrote it. I couldn't tell you. All I know is that I didn't understand why these animals... I didn't understand the whole story at all. It wasn't until much later in my life that I realized that it was about politics. No one explained this to me. At all. And I had a hard time finding the symbolism when I was a kid. Just to be in all honesty. Ignore me keep moving around. I'm trying to get comfortable. And it's not working. Okay.
Alright. Question 5. Shakespeare plays you were required to read.
Shakespeare. Ugh. So I remember freshman year, we not only had to read Romeo and Juliet, we had to rewrite a scene from Romeo and Juliet set in modern times. Not a fan. Granted, it was super helpful because the high school I went to, the rivalry with a different school is honestly longer than the Red Sox in New England and New York's rivalry. It's that much older. So there's a lot you could do with a Gardner Coney kid. and it have that forbidden love trope. So it's applicable. Or other ones we were made to read. She's washing her hands. She was washing her hands and can't get the blood off. Macbeth? Is that Macbeth?
I know we were made to read Macbeth.
That's got to be Macbeth, because Lady Macbeth she's convinced there's blood on her hands, and so she's washing them, and she can't get it off, but there's really no blood on her hands. It's Macbeth, right? Comment down below if I'm right. I feel like it's right. And that was sophomore year in high school, so that was 2006, 2007. If that gives you any inclination of how old I am. So, yeah. We'll say Macbeth. And then, I'm pretty sure we read Hamlet too. You might not have, but I think I did. Anyways, next.
A book that should be required reading in high school now.
A book that should be required reading in high school now. There's a couple, for sure, that I... trying to think of titles. The Hate You Give should be one, for sure. The Hate You Give. I also think that there should be more representation with Pacific Islander or Asian cultures in high schools, and some gender books. Brandon. The movie's called Boys Don't Cry with Hilary Swank. I'm sure there's a book about his life. That definitely should be one of them that is read in school. Or, like, I will argue that till I'm blue in the face. What's Brandon's last name? I can't think of it. But Boys Don't Cry is the movie, and Hilary Swank plays Brandon, who is a trans individual that ultimately gets... I'm not going to tell you what happens. It does not go good, okay? Next.
A popular author from when you were in high school that you did not get into.
When I was in high school, Twilight was like everything. It was so amazing. Is Team Edward or Team Jacob? No. I'm Team get the heck out of my face. Like, I didn't care. I loved Robert Pattinson when he played Cedric Diggory. And then he did Twilight, and I'm just like, I like it. I could take it or leave it. Twilight is not my cup of tea. Vampires aren't my thing. Unless it's like the classic vampire with like Dracula. Yes. I like those kind of vampires.
Not ones that shimmer in the sunlight.
Yeah, shimmery vampires. I'm just going to think that someone was using glitter and now they can't get it off them. It's my personal thing. Okay.
A hyped book when you were in high school.
Twilight. Like, it's can't really get much more hype than Twilight back in the early 2000s.
I don't even remember another book series that was like popular.
I think Shadowhunters might have been starting to come out then.
Hunger Games, maybe.
And Hunger Games, maybe. But nothing was as big as Twilight. Like, let's be honest. Twilight took over the world kind of like Harry Potter took over. And it was not my thing. Never was my thing. I remember getting the entire set one year for Christmas. And I never read them. And then I just gave them away. Yeah.
That's it.
So, that was the 8 questions about books from high school. I definitely, looking back on it, there wasn't much selection and variety in reading because junior and senior year, you were mainly just writing papers in high school, getting used to writing papers and the research process. Sophomore and freshman year were where we did all of our reading. We didn't really do much after that, and that kind of sucks. I wished we did do more reading in high school. So, that's the video. Until next time, remember, you are loved and you are valid.